Greetings, 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 greetings to all. Welcome, 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 welcome. I want to give some time for folks to join in on the live. Let's have a conversation. Let's join in on the live. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a deep conversation. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Let's have a conversation where we actually getting some problems solved and we meeting the needs of the community. Because after all, it is all about the community, us, for me. Greetings to all, greetings to all, greetings to all. For those that don't know, my name is Ron. I'm originally from the Bahamas. I've been living in America for the past 25 years. I've been living in Montgomery, Alabama for the past 23 years. I have lived in Montgomery, Alabama longer than I've lived any place. I have invested, I have been a blessing and blessed Montgomery, Alabama like I have done no place else. For me, my belief, my faith is everything to me. Let me say it again. My faith in God is everything to me. I couldn't do what I do without my faith in God. Not only with my faith in God, but most of all, my trust in God. I own several businesses. Me and my wife, we own several businesses. People have come and people have gone, but the thing that remains the same for me and with me is God. And I am internally grateful for the sacrifice that Jesus Christ made over 2,000 years ago in dying that I might have life and have life more abundantly. And so the reason why I'm in Alabama, I believe, is because God assigned me to Alabama. Now, to some people, that might be a mockery, that might be a joke, or some people would say, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, for me, I own the knickerknacker market. I've been owning the knickerknacker market for over 13 years at 163 Lee Street, downtown Montgomery, Alabama. And before that, I was at the Moore Building on the opposite side of the Freedom Ride Museum. I was in there for years. I called it at that time Knickerknacker Mini Mart. And so they said that they was going to renovate the building and they put everybody out of the building. So what I did, I went around, I prayed, I went around, I was looking, and then I happened to find where I'm at right now at 163 Lee Street, downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The zip code is 36104. And Jane Cody was the one, information was on the door. And so I reached out. And so I didn't, Jane Cody, he happens to be on vacation. So Jerome Moore, who is over Moore Realty Company, happens to give me a tour of the building. What you see, the knickerknacker market and grocery store is right now, it wasn't that. In fact, that was Troy University, I think, an old bookstore. So when I went in there, I had a lot of work to do. I didn't have a lot of money. I had a lot of work to do. But what happened, I had some credit cards. I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you from where I came. I had some credit cards, so I didn't have the means, the ways, and all this other stuff to hire someone to do the work. And I was outside doing the work myself. And I'm on the ladder, doing what I could have done. And this old white man came along. And he said to me, he was looking at what I was doing, and he told me he could do the work. I thought he was joking because to me, he didn't look like he could really do the work. Like, I don't know. But he told me that he could do the work. And so that's what I give him an opportunity to do work. I paid him, I think I had him for 2 days, and he got the work done in 2 days. And so God used that gentleman to get me on my way. You know what I'm saying? I was able to pay him. And so these are how some things has happened to me and for me. I was forced to be where I'm at right now. And for the past 13 years, I've been at that location. That building don't look nothing like what it was when I first got it. So ever since I've had that building, I have anything God puts in my hand, I make it better. I make it more. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there for the past 13 years. They was crying for a grocery store downtown for years. No one stepped up. No one did what I did. I did it. I did it legally, and I did it the right way. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand a lot of people don't understand how business works in Montgomery, Alabama. You have to pay so much taxes, it's crazy. Property tax, privilege tax, state tax, city, county, city, and state tax. You have to renew your license every day. You have to get all kind of different insurances. I had to have 2 different insurances. You have to have your light bill, your water bill, and all these other things that goes along with running business. Now, mind you, I'm from the Bahamas. I'm doing this out of my pocket. No help, no assistance, no government grants, no bank loan or nothing. But I was determined enough because no one else was willing to do it. I did it out of my own pocket by the grace and the mercy of God. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no one tell me what to do, how to do, and all this good stuff. There was a need in the city. No one stepped up, and I did. You know what I'm saying? By the grace of God. Since I've been to America, I was homeless. I've had cars repossessed. I've been through divorce. You name it, I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? And so I never once said, woe is me. I never once saw myself as a victim. And I never once wanted people to go around feeling sorry for me. I'm a very private person. Even though I'm in the spotlight, I'm still a very private person. You know, I take my privacy serious. But because of the love that I have for Christ, because of the love that I have for the community, I'm putting myself out there. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I make myself of no reputation. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that matters to me is that God gets the glory. The only thing that matters to me is that someone, regardless of what you're going through in life, that your faith, your confidence in God will not be shaken. It will stand through the test of any situation that you find yourself in, because God is faithful. I know when we get in situations, at times it is hard to see God being faithful because of whatever you're going through. You know what I'm saying? But I want to encourage you. You know what I'm saying? Continue to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. So I'm giving my testimony, first of all, to enlighten people of what's going on. And second of all, so whoever wants to help, that they can help in this matter. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, you know, a lot of times with believers, people don't know the state of believers and what they're in. Because when we talk as believers, we call in things that be not as though it were. And when we talk in the present. But the thing about God is this, you know what I'm saying? God is in eternity. And like when you have a seed, it takes a seed time to turn into a harvest. So when we talk with our words, we speak in words, and the words taking on flesh, the words begin to manifest. And like a husband to the wife, when a husband impregnate the wife, it is a process. Normally, it takes 9 months for a woman who's pregnant to bear a child. And then 9 months, then another phase, then the child is born. The child is a baby. And then the child grows. And it's different stages, but it's all different stages. It is a process. And so even with believers, because sometimes when believers talk, people think the believers have it like that right there and then. No, they talking what is about to happen. They talking what God said. And so for me, I believe everything about God, what God said, I believe it. That's why at times I'm willing to take what I have now and sow it into my future. Because I believe the seed in your hand, if you eat that seed, that's the most it'll be. But if you sow that seed, if you plant that seed, that'll be the least of the seed. Imagine if you have a orange seed, one orange seed. You might not see the value in that seed, but that seed is valuable. When you take that one orange seed, when you look at the seed, you see the orange seed, and everybody sees something different. When I see one orange seed, I see a whole tree. And from that whole tree, I see trees. And from the trees, I see orchards. That's how I see things. The Bible says never despise small beginning. And so I know we are in a time where a lot of people say, Lord, Lord. But Christ say, you call me Lord, Lord, but you don't do what I say. Me calling the Lord, Lord, I do what the Lord says. When I've been in the knickerknacker market, let me tell you our motto is for the knickerknacker market. Our motto is a warm welcome, a memorable moment, and a fond farewell. That is our motto. And so when people come in, I have had people come in the knickerknacker market from all over the world, from all parts of the United States of America. So here it is. If me as a Bahamian who put a grocery store downtown, all the years that the knickerknacker market and grocery store was downtown, that would have not been downtown, and no one else would have put a grocery store downtown. But I believe in this city enough, and I believe in trusting God enough to go through what I went through. There's nothing about my life has been easy. You know what I'm saying? But I had to continue, and I have to continue to trust God. And I'm trusting God enough to believe that there got to be some people out there that see the value in what I've done and what I'm doing. Not only that, there got to be some people out there who are brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm not pretending to be, not claiming to, that's not as fake stuff. And there got to be some people out there, whether you believe in the God I believe in or not, but you believe in service. You believe in helping people. You know what I'm saying? I have done that. And so I'm asking for assistance to help me in this manner, because what happened is that for 13 years, when I went to go into the store, the lock was changed. So for over a month and something, I don't have access to the store. I don't have access to my products. I couldn't do nothing. The lights are still on. I still have my processing and all this other stuff going on that I'm still being charged today. You know what I'm saying? I still have responsibilities and all this other stuff, even though I don't have access to the building. So I was sued. They locked the doors on me, and I didn't have access to nothing. And they sued me. And I don't know much about courts and all this other stuff. I'm waiting to get a summons, I don't know, to go to court. I called yesterday, and they said a judgment was held against the C1 Corp LLC doing business as the knickerknacker market. That means that, who there is? Stafford Roofing Company have access to the knickerknacker market. You know what I'm saying? And so I called and I asked them, I said, but I reached out, they said, because I didn't answer or I didn't answer the charges, they ruled in favor for Taylor Roofing Company, or I think it's Taylor Roofing or something, to have access to the knickerknacker market. And I said, what can I do? And they said, the only thing you can do, you have 2 weeks to do a rebuttal. I think they call it rebuttal or whatever, to challenge the judgment or something like that. And they said that you have to pay $600 and something. So I'm asking the public to donate at least $600 and something so I can challenge this judgment. Not only that, if anyone that is out there that is a lawyer, because right now I don't have it like that, that is a lawyer that can offer some service or some advice, or whatever, I'll appreciate it. Or if they can render their service, donate their service. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can write it off. I don't know what you can do, but that would be a great help. Not only that, I have a lady. Her name is Tata King. That's Rodney King's sister. Well, I meet her through TikTok, and we was talking. She's doing some stuff for me, and she said, Ron, what I'm doing is gonna take too long. She said the quickest thing to get assistance is to set up a GoFundMe account. She said, she said, you have done so much for so many people. You know what I'm saying? She said that I'm sure that people will be glad to support you. She said she went on Google My Business, and she went on the knickerknacker market, and she see all the reports and all the great things that people had said about the knickerknacker market. And she said that's the quickest way to go about it. And I have done that. And there have been people who have contributed to the fund. And I list some of the things that the funds will be used for. You know, I wasn't working. I mean, now I have a job. I haven't worked for no one in over 15 years. Now I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem in doing whatever it takes legally to do whatever. I don't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm asking for is I'm going to put the GoFundMe link to this video also. So if you want to support, you can support, because it ain't over till God says over. And so I created the knickerknacker market. That is my baby. And I'm not going to go lie down and let someone try to take my hard work and what I've done and what I mean to this community. What that store looks like today, it ain't what it was when I first got it. And there's too many people. They have been getting over on people because they might not have the name recognition or the funds to fight back. That's what. God is my defender. Jesus Christ is my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to let someone just try and take what I worked so hard for. Do I owe him some money? Yeah. Was I trying to pay him? Yeah. And so for me, you would think over 13 years that you would be showing some grace, giving some grace, and find ways to work stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons why teens have been so tough also, I also have a staffing agency. And so in 2023, we had, we made about $175,000. So they said. We had about 14 workers. And so during tax time, when we filed our taxes, because we couldn't get the 1099s to the people, the IRS charged us $25,000. So my wife reached out to a company, and the company lied and told us if we hire them, most likely they can get that, because it was called a startup, a head start, a new start, or whatever, because that was our first time. So the company said that they can get that wiped out. That was a lie. So we have to not only pay the IRS what they was asking for, but we have to pay this company. So these are some of the things that has been a hiccup. Not only that, I've been in business for years. When I've done my taxes, I've never gotten a tax return, a refund. You know what I'm saying? Except one time with my wife or whatever. You know, never. And so a lot of stuff that has happened, if the right teams was in place, my situation could have been a whole lot better. It isn't because of negligence. It isn't because I'm not responsible or none of that stuff. In fact, it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I don't cut corners. I don't break laws. I don't violate laws. I don't do things under the table. I do things the right way. So for me, unless God blesses me or what I'm doing, then I'm not going to get nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and for me, what I was hoping, because I've been such a blessing to so many people, I was hoping that people would respond and respond. Like I said before, I don't care what you give, how much you give. All I'm asking is to give. If I have impacted your life in any kind of way, my businesses or whatever. So if I've impacted your life in a negative way and negativity come back to me, I am fine with it. But that's what I have not done that. So all I've done since I've been here is be a blessing to this community. And so all I'm saying is the ones I have blessed, the ones I have impacted, all I'm saying is sow into this course. I don't go around asking a bunch of people for nothing. That's not who I am. And what is so disheartening, in my past in the knickerknacker market, I have raised funds for churches. In the knickerknacker market, donation buckets, and I've given them the money. I've raised funds for nonprofit organizations, and I've given them the money. I have given so much stuff out my stores to nonprofit organizations. And you would think that when you have been a blessing to so many people, that people would say, man, he have been a blessing to me in my time of need, or even if I didn't need it, but he gave it to me, the least I can do is help. And you might say, well, I might not have a lot of money. I'm not asking for a lot of money. I'm asking for whatever you can do. It could be $1. It doesn't matter. I mean, I have a GoFundMe account. You can just share it and encourage people to, if what I'm saying is this, if I have impacted you in any kind of way, and for you to know I'm going through what I'm going through, me and my wife and our family, and you not respond, what does it say about you? And you talk about how much the knickerknacker market means to this community, how much I've done for you, and you haven't done nothing. And some people say, well, I don't have no money. I don't have this, telling you about all the problems they have financially and all this other stuff. And some of the people call themselves Christians. You know what I'm saying? And in life, you're not going to have everything that you want. You know what I'm saying? But that's why you call it sowing a seed. And sometimes people is miss out on their own blessing. Why? Because they're not willing to sow into someone else. Who knows, you helping someone else, God will send someone to help you. You know what I'm saying? So I have not given up. I will never give up. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that I'm blessed. I know that God have a set time. But that's what. Why do I have to wait on God's set time when things can happen right now? And then God's set time still kick in. You know what I'm saying? And people talking, but I'll pray for you. Pray for me for what? I didn't ask for, I'm asking for money. The Bible says money answers all things. You want to help me? Help me with some money. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It could be $1. I don't care. I'm going to put the GoFundMe into this video. I'm going to put the Cash App into this video. And I believe that after I've done that I'm going to get some people that really cares. Because like I said, I felt that, what I'm saying, let me say this. When it's in your power to do, just do. I reach out to powers that be. I never got an audience. I have my the city council person that represents this area. I've never gotten a phone call. In fact, I reached out to that lady 3 times. One time she came into the store when she was going next door. We had a conversation. The other time I reached out to her, she told me she already talked to me, and she told me how busy she was. And then I called her one time. I never had a conversation like that. But that's what. If it wasn't for me putting this grocery store downtown, because I was downtown, in fact, the landlords them used to use me as a selling point to try to lease out their buildings. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say to this community, we're not who they think we are. You know what I'm saying? Let's reach out to the better angels that is in us. You know what I'm saying? We don't have, they say, so what I'm saying to any and everybody, if the knickerknacker market is important to you, do what you can and let us get in our building back. Because I say us, you are part of us. And let us do what we've been doing for this community, giving them service. So my motto for the knickerknacker market is this: a warm welcome, a memorable moment, and a fond farewell. The knickerknacker market has affected my life in some areas, not for the better, for the worse, because I've made a lot of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? If it was up to my wife right now, we would have been in Texas a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in this community enough to invest in it. You know what I'm saying? Because when other people saw something else, I saw the best in Alabama, and I still do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to prove people wrong, but I'm here to prove the people that are right. And so come along with me on this journey, you know what I'm saying, and helping me be restored the knickerknacker market and grocery store to its rightful owners, the deans. And so I want to thank you for listening on this live. And I want to thank everyone who have already contributed. And if you want to contribute again, I will thank you. And notice that anyone and everyone who contributes and supports the knickerknacker market, that I will pray for you. And I believe that God will answer my prayers. And I believe that God will bless you. And then you can have a stake in saying, that's what, I'm one of the reasons why the knickerknacker market still exists. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying to you, Montgomery, especially the people that are in Montgomery, especially the people that have benefited from the knickerknacker market, including the government and any organization, come join with me and let us get the knickerknacker market back open and doing what it was purposed to do, just to serve this community. So I love you. Continue to have a blessed day.